Hey there. Recently, you've heard me talk about whether it's a great time to buy or not a great time to buy, something I specialize in helping my clients work out. Again, my goal is never to push anybody into a home or convince somebody that it's the right time to buy if it's not. Because sometimes for you, it's just not the right time to buy. Last video I made, I actually said it's not the right time right now for me to buy because the factors don't line up. So let's go through some of the reasons why it might be the best time for you to buy and even how I work through finding out if it is the best time for you to buy. Starting off, let's start with it's a great time to buy. So it might be a great time to buy if the market conditions are favorable. So some of these things for favorable market condition would be low interest rates. We don't have that right now. It might even be favorable housing prices. We don't have that right now. So those two are off the board. But it might be favorable housing conditions, as in right now, there's a decent amount of houses on the market. It's right about in the Nashville area at a what would consider the market a flat market, neither a buyer or a seller's market. What that means is houses are sitting a little bit longer than they have in the last 10 years plus. So it gives buyers the opportunity to negotiate things like, a rate buy down to help you temporarily save some money on monthly payments, waiting for interest rates to actually come down, which they're supposed to. At the beginning of this year, everybody predicts by summer they'll be in a pretty favorable place. But we'll talk about that in a minute, what that'll impact the market. But so right now, you in closing costs, things like that. So you can negotiate these type of things that have not been available for years in the Nashville market, but you can get them so you can not have a ton of money down to put down and buy a house if you're a renter. That's a great news. It's great news, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. You could get zero down with a loan like a THDA or a USDA loan, and then on top of it, get your closing costs paid so you don't bring anything to the table. That's possible right now because of the market conditions. Another reason to buy right now would be a housing need that you have. Like you have a new job that's making you move from Kentucky to Nashville, right? That's a you don't have a choice, so you have to buy. And then, well, you could rent, but then you would want to talk to me and the lenders and see what the benefits of renting for a period of time versus buying right now. And again, I would bring up things like you have availability of houses that you can not have to compete for right now versus if you wait for interest rates to come down. As I've been saying, you're going to be fighting people and likely pay over closing costs. I think this summer is going to be like 2020 through 2021 light. So that means we're going to have over asking price. I don't think we'll see the $100,000 plus over asking price in cash that you had to guarantee back then. But I could see in between $5,000 and $20,000 being somewhere around the average because buyers are just waiting, but all the buyers have been waiting for this interest rate drop, and everybody jumps back in the market. There's still not going to be enough houses, and we'll see another feeding frenzy. So buying now helps you prevent that. So other reasons you could have to relocate is I have a two bedroom house, one bath, and we just had our fourth kid. Yeah, I mean people do it, and if you can, God bless you. But most of us want a little bit more space than that, and that would be a good reason to buy. Now, there's other factors I got to figure out, like are you in a financial position to buy? Are your credit scores proper and all that? And I don't really work in that field that much, but what I do is I align you with somebody that is a professional in the industry that can help you, a lender that will support you and even help you if you don't have the proper situation financially right now. Um, uh, I close homes with people that I work with for 2 to 4 years, all the time, because they're not in a position when I talk to them at first, but then they get there. Another one would be government incentives. So, like grants and other tax benefits that you'd have. So, you're buying because of those things. Um, I talked about different loan products that have 0% down. But there's other government grants that come around every once in a while that my lender could provide for you, especially for first-time home buyers or low-income families. There's different products that the government offers in grants and such. And then stability of employment, and that one would go back to I'm moving or whatnot, or financial security could be another reason to move now. I'm in a place where we just got a bunch of money from a settlement or something along those lines, or a great big bonus at work, and I want to utilize that to build capital for the future. So those are reasons that would be a great reason to buy. And let's talk if you're in that condition. Now, their next category would be I want to buy. This is completely different than a great reason to buy. I want to buy is where we need to really talk and figure it out, right? So lifestyle upgrades might be one of those. So I just want more land so I can do some more farming. I want more property so I can have some cattle or some horses. I want a bigger house because I want a man cave and my wife wants a bigger kitchen, right? Those are lifestyle upgrades. They're not necessities like what I said with have to because I got a 2-bedroom house and 4 kids. That's most people would say you have to in this case. These are I want more, right? And right now is actually not a bad time to be looking for things like that because I can tell you, I was looking for 2 particular farms that were at least 10. One was at least 10, one was at least 20 acres. Well, during 2020 to 2022, both of them took me almost the whole 2 years to find because even when we found the great one that they wanted, it was always up against 3 to 5 buyers that were putting crazy amount of cash on top of it. And you don't want to fight that. So right now you can actually get, like I said, you can negotiate the price down and get closing costs and get other incentives paid for like taxes and title and even seller paid buy downs for your rate, interest rate. All those things are possible right now that are not typically possible in our market in Nashville because as soon as rates go down, we're going into another extreme seller's market. It's just inevitable. Our economy is still good in this area, not as a country, although the country's arguable. Um, and this is just where we're at. Another thing would be long-term planning. So you're buying a house as a long-term plan for your life, trying to build generational equity. That would be, yeah, I mean, it could be a need, but I don't really see it as a need. What I'd see it as is more of a want in that category. So now this one, what we help you do is figure out a good area that has had a history of improvements or is on a trajectory of improving the area, which will give you a good sound investment. And we can do that through different facets and factors of history and then projections of businesses coming in and things like that in a particular area of Nashville, or even some growth projections as far as what they're doing in housing and whatnot. Again, we help you through that. Another one would be market speculation. This is the probably the best reason to buy right now is speculating that A, the market's about to increase in a big way, or B, that the interest rates are about to go down, right? So I'm buying into an interest rate that I'm barely comfortable with, right? And you can do a seller paid interest rate buy down system that there's multiple options out there to get it cheaper for you right now. But then you can also get like you can depend on the interest rates coming down in the next year. With an election year, especially with the economy and all the indicators showing that the economy is flattening out and things are looking better for the future. They're looking to drop interest rates if for no other reason to prevent any kind of recession to actually hit us that they've been talking about for years. So these things are being talked about. They're not guaranteed. I'm not guaranteeing interest rates are going down, but they have already creeped down some, which I sent out an email about that recently, or I'm sorry, email, but also a video, an email to my database. If you want to be on my database where you get these updates, let me know. I'll put you in there, and you'll get hotter information than my videos even share. Community, another one would be you're looking for a different community or a school district. My kids just about to start school and I don't want to live in this county, I want to live in that county. That's a good want, family security. You're growing. They're starting to go to a different school. Maybe the elementary school in this area is great, but I want to put them in this other middle school. Whatever those reasons, we can help you. That's a great reason to move. Community and school districts we talked about. So then control over living space. So this one would be we live in an apartment. We can't do the upgrades, things like that. I want to have an updated modern kitchen with hardwood floors, and I have dreams of vaulted ceilings and all those things. So these are like, I want to move because I want to have the ability to control what my living space looks like inside and outside my house, or maybe just inside. That would be more of a condo. Inside, outside would be a traditional house. And we can work through those. Also very good reasons to move, and we can talk about whether it's a good time or not. Now for the shouldn't, right? Market validity. This would be something that we're in. We are in a volatile market right now. But again, that doesn't mean you can't buy or necessarily shouldn't buy. But it might be the reason you don't buy right now or sell and all those things. So we would want to talk through that and find out how this impacts your particular situation. Financial instability. Maybe you just change jobs and that doesn't always necessarily disqualify you just because you change jobs, but there are factors that can make it more or harder for you to make a move right now. Like a new job that's in a different field, things like that. You could need to wait 6 months. You could need to wait a couple of years if you just started a new business and you don't have entrepreneurial background and a history of an income from something like that. So, but there are programs that can get you past those hurdles, but those are things that can make it a little more complicated. Uncertain future plans, like I'm not sure if we're going to live in Nashville next year. Yeah, I mean, might want to hold up. Maybe not, but you might want to hold up. So that I would agree with that. But we'll talk and we'll see what you're really thinking, what you're discussing, figure out what your actual plans are, and we'll work through that together. And then high debt levels. We've all been impacted in the last few years with debt, with all the inflation. It's typical. Most households incurred more debt than they're used to and even comfortable with. And so there's plans to get out of that. If it is something that would stop you from buying, my go-to lender, Clint Haynes, he has amazing programs on how to help you from a basic all the way up to like getting an actual financial counselor that's professional in that type of field. And then finally, a shouldn't buy reason would be maintenance or upkeep responsibilities. I hear this all the time, that people don't want to take on the financial burden of having a house because it's expensive. And being somebody that has owned a house since I was 24 years old and now at almost 40, going on 49 in a couple months, I can't agree with that. I mean, it's like a car. You have the opportunity to keep it up. You can upgrade it anytime you want, and you can, like, there's a lot of things. YouTube, man, you can fix almost anything on YouTube these days. You just learn how to do it and do it real cheap. A house is not hard maintenance. Most maintenance items are pretty cheap outside of, total remodels or a roof or an HVAC system. Everything else is pretty reasonable and easy to do. So, though I just don't understand that. That one is not one that I think is a good reason. This is a, a, a reason that many people will put out there. But again, let's chat. I hope these are helpful. They're just different ways to think about, is it a good time? Is it a great time? Is it a time I want to? Or is it really just a bad time? If you have any more questions, reach out to me in DM and like and share my post if you enjoyed it. Take care.